Morning, everyone. So this might be a bit weird. I'm doing the workout and I'm just warming up here, so walking on the spot, jogging on the spot. I'm doing a voiceover on this so I can talk you through the bits. I'm jogging on the spot and just getting blood moving, etc. High knees. So here you can go straight into running high knees, but for those of you that are new, recovering from postpartum, or you just don't have the energy, do the slow walk. And if you're doing high knees, you want your high knees. That means your knees come up to your hips. Then into butt kickers. So we're trying to get our heels all the way up to our butt, and I put my hands there so you can feel your heels kicking up. Again, you can do that just step. You don't have to do a run with it. And into a half star jump, or if you just want to do straight up star jumps from the beginning because you are a pro, then go for it. Just get your star. We're just warming up, remember? So get it going. This is obviously going to work your shoulders a bit and your legs and get your cardio up, which gets your muscles ready, gets the oxygen around your body. So your muscles are starting to be active. You can reach your hands up and then out. It's up to you if you do the up and then out. Just opens your back and your lats a bit more if that's what you want to do. So we come into a slow squat, nothing fancy. So when you're coming to stand, you're pulling your bum in, you're squeezing your butt cheeks. All my weight is going into my heels. And when I'm coming down, I should be squatting into a 90-degree angle. So my knee joint is at a 90-degree angle. My knees are directly forward. They're not knocking in. I'm going to show you in a sec. They're not knocking in. Not like that. So they're going straight ahead. And you should be able to feel the muscles around the tops of your legs working. Okay? And my knees should be behind my toes. That is where they should be. Everything should be in alignment. And we're going into lunge twist. So this is just going to warm up your legs a bit more and moves that middle bit of your body, which is often very stiff if you're breastfeeding, if you're just carrying babies around generally. This is where you want to open up a bit. You can do some really nice deep breaths here when you do the twist to open your ribs out rather than up and down, to really expand them. And again, if you look, I'm showing you, should be a 90-degree angle at your knee. My knee is behind my toe. So if you look really carefully, I'm pushing straight down and everything's in line. So my bum, my shoulder and my ear are all on top of each other. Coming into a walkout, if you're new to exercise, hold everything in and then go straight to your knees there. You do not have to walk back up like that. This is a great full body opener. I've got my legs straight. It's hard. That's a hard version. That's me doing a straight down to knee version. So my knees are straight. You don't have to have your knees straight, but that's the aim. And then you're coming into plank and you're walking straight back up. If even getting into that plank position, you're zipping your core up as you walk down, you literally go straight to your knees because this is a lot of work on your core to even get into that plank. So you are really working. If that is too much, just do a jog, okay? If you're feeling at all like, oh, too much pressure in my stomach, doesn't feel comfortable, just do a jog or a squat. You just want to be moving at this point. So we're moving into the best stretch in the world, that's actually what it's called. And we put our right foot outside our right hand and we twist. If you find this hard with your leg up at the back, active, you can put your knee down. I'll show you in a second. You can put your knee down to still get a good stretch. It just gives you a little bit less pressure around the kind of the hips and the stomach. You can come down into downward dog in between reps. See there, I've just dropped my knee. So it's exactly the same. You're just dropping the knee to give yourself a bit less hard work. And I'm just twisting my hand, just, why not? Open that all up. And you will have to excuse Clemmy for being directly in front of the TV. So now I'm doing How have I forgotten what they're called? That's ridiculous. This is the new mum version. Okay, so if you are not going to be doing Running Man, how have I forgotten what they're called? Mountain climbers. Rah. Mountain climbers, okay? That's the advanced version. You're running your feet in. You're stepping if you find that too hard, but otherwise you're on your knees and you're just raising your legs out. Okay, and I'm going to get my weights. So I've got my timer getting ready, and I've got a number of different options here. I've got kettlebells, I've got weights, and I've got resistance bands, and I'm going to show the different exercises with different pieces of equipment depending on what you want to do. Okay, so kettlebells you can use interchangeably, really simply, with the dumbbells. You do not have to use any weight at all for this, but we're doing a squat to press. So this is using your whole body. You're squatting. If you've got your weights in your hands, you want your palms facing away from you, so you can have your dumbbells in your hand here too. You're not letting your hands come below your shoulders. So you're reaching up and over and hands back down to shoulders. Okay, this will be the first exercise. This is me just showing you. I have to turn my watch around so my watch doesn't get damaged. The next one is going to be a goblet squat, so with a pulse. So again, you can do this holding a book. You can do this holding dumbbells. It's up to you. You do not have to use weights the way I am. Then we're going to hold weights if you want to, lunge, pulse forward and alternate. You do not have to use weights. This is what I would do in a workout to add a little bit extra to a workout. So it depends how you feel. You could add a resistance band to your, just above your knees there. Okay, and we're going to do a minute of each as we normally would. And then the last exercise we're going to do is, so we're going to lunge forward, opposite arm up to the leg that you are lunging with. So no pulse, just lunge forward. So this is going to kind of take you off balance a bit. Again, you do not have to use a weight, but we're going to do half time on one side and half time on the other. You want to try and keep your ribs down. You do not want your ribs poking up. If you need to like expose your tummy, lift your shirt up, whatever, do it to make sure your ribs do not go up. So let's go. I started the timer. We're squatting and we're pressing. Brilliant. You're just going to keep going. You can see the timer, which is great. And you're just going to go. And rest there, put your weights down. Just going to move Tiny Human out of the way so she doesn't get blind. And we're going to go into goblet squat. So arms up to your chest, your elbows out, down and pulse and up. My weight is in my heels. My knees are going directly forward. I'm pushing out, they're not knocking in, and I'm pulsing at the bottom. This is hard. If you only have dumbbells, you can do exactly the same like this, depending on how heavy they are. That's not the most comfortable for me, so I am going to move them to my shoulders in a sec, similar to what we did in the last exercise. So I just want them up on my shoulders, my palms are facing forward. That's another option. And here we're going to go into lunge, pulse and stand. Forward lunge, pulse and stand. You want to make sure that your core is zipped up here. This is harder than you think. If you haven't used your core muscles for a while, this is not an easy move. So do not use the weight unless you feel confident and there is no pain whatsoever. I'm trying to keep my pelvis aligned here, so I am tilting things forward in my pelvic area. So that means I'm squeezing my bum and my core is engaged. We're on a break here, get some water. We're going to do, so you see you've got the dumbbell in my hand, you don't have to have a kettlebell, and I'm doing opposite arm, opposite leg. So my forward leg is lunging forward, which is left this time, and then I have my hand overhead. If that feels like, oh, it's alright, it's easy, you can press your arm up as you lunge forward. That's going to add another dimension. It's going to make your abs work in different directions, which is going to make it harder. And swap over to the other side. So I'm just this is one option. You can do this without any weight at all. And I am now doing it the wrong way around, because you should press up. There we go. Press up as you lunge forward. Press up as you lunge forward. And that's you done. Have a break. See, it's a challenge for Clemmy not to touch the iPad. So I'm just going to show you briefly what the exercises are. The first one is going to be a reverse fly, so palms towards each other and then reaching your arms all the way up so they're level with your shoulders. That's to strengthen your back muscles. The next one is going to be a row, so palms looking towards your legs, reaching your elbows up. Then a tricep dip. You can drop one of the weights, you don't have to use both weights here. You're keeping your elbows tight into your ears. You do not want your elbows to be flying around, and you're just dropping your hands down. And this I actually changed into a jab cross. So that would be a single row. That was to kind of get your heart rate up, but I've actually changed it in the workout to be a jab cross with a few extra bits. We're getting ready here, I'm just setting up the clock, and I'm going to pick up my dumbbells for reverse fly. Time is ticking. If you've already started, good. So if you look at where I am, my arms are going out to the side, my palms are facing down to the ground the whole time. You should imagine you've got a tennis ball between your chest and your neck, which means that you're not overarching your neck and you're not dropping it down. My legs are slightly bent, my back is completely straight, my abs are helping my core hold my body up. I am not locking my legs out. We've got 5 seconds left and keep going. This is not an easy exercise because we do not use these muscles well, and stop to have a break. Good stuff, guys. We've got a 10-second break. Get some water. I didn't drink enough water. I'm showing you with a resistance band just because why not? You can add it if you wanted to. You could do this the same. You could hold the band. So you've got your hands facing towards each other, your palms are facing towards each other, and you're rowing, you're pulling your elbows all the way back. You can see my elbows are tight in to my side. My back is straight. My knees are not locked out, they are slightly bent. You've got a nice kind of sharp like bend angle between the front of your legs and your abs. So you're in straight lines. and I'm pulling my arms back because this is getting the back of our triceps and it's also working our shoulders, which we need as being mummies. Again, if the weights aren't heavy enough, you can just add a little bit extra. Find a heavier book. You're on a break now. I'm just wiggling it all out, and Femi's going to go for the iPad again. Great. Doing the triceps, okay? This is harder than you think. You need to keep your ribs down, core in, elbows tucked to your head. If you can see what I'm trying to show you, I'm trying to show you that my bum is tucked, my knees are not locked out. I'm dropping the dumbbells behind my head, but my elbows are staying close to my head. It's really easy for your elbows to knock out and you're not doing the right thing. You're working a different muscle. So here you're working a triceps, which not many people use. You don't have to use any weight here. I would not recommend using a baby here. But you want to try and keep your ribs down and stop for a break. I obviously need to look at my time a bit more. And we are going into jab cross. I've got my feet in a squat stance, not in a boxing stance, because we're going for speed here. We're not going for technique of trying to punch someone in the face. You don't need the dumbbells in your hand. I've got a cigarette butt twist going on every punch, same arm, same leg every time, and you should get a bit of core work in here as well. If you go faster, you're not going to be able to get the cigarette twist in, which is fine, but if you want to get a little ab work, then you want to get the cigarette twist. I think towards the end of this, yeah, here we go. I'm going faster. I'm bobbing side to side, but I cannot get that full twist in going fast because you just can't do it. Your body mechanics can't do it all at the same time. And stop for a break, and that's that set done. So you have a minute break here. I'm going to show you the exercises, and you don't have to have a resistance band, you don't have to have anything. This is just to show if you have it and you want to. So the first exercise is going to be a band above your knees and either rapid squats or squat jumps. I think I'm going to throw in some squat jumps here, but you can see I'm tucking my bum under. I am pulling my abs in when I get to the top of that squat. Next exercise, next minute, is going to be star jumps. Again, you do not need the band, but that just adds another layer to it. You could add hand weights to the star jump if you wanted to. Next one is we're going to do lunges across the room without the band. You do not need the band. You could put weights in your hand as well here if you wanted. Completely up to you what you want to do with your workout. And then the last one's going to be hooks with the band on to up your cardio. So we're going to go, off we go. We're going to do some squat jumps. If you're able to, great. Otherwise, if you're in between squat and squat jump, just come onto your toes. Otherwise, you are just doing a squat. Squatting down, keeping your shoulders up and back. I'm mixing up between the three just to show you. But you see, when you come onto your toes, you're pulling your bum in, you're pulling your core in, and the movement's the same in every version, but the most intense one is the squat jump. You've got 15 seconds left. I'm pushing my knees away from the resistance band. That is going to get your side butts, gluteus medius working, which is great, it's what you want. And have a break. Really nice work, guys. I know I can't see you, but I'm sure you're working hard. As you can see, I am. Star jumps, cardio, but you can add. So you've got here, I've just done a little crisscross. I wouldn't recommend this for new mums that are just building themselves, but this, if you're like, yeah, I need more than a star jump. I don't know what, oh, that's Femi's little nail clippers that she fought with me about. You're just doing cross your toes over, opposite sides. So it's just adding. Again, if you were adding a weight to your hands here, a very light weight. You do baked bean tic tac him. You do not need heavy weights because you cannot move fast doing that move with weight in your hand. It's not a smart move because you're not going to have good form. So it's very lightweight if you are adding that in. Okay, well done, you're on a break. You've got 10 seconds left. Really nice. And look, I'm going to pick up the dumbbells, but you don't have to at all. Actually, the kettlebells, I love a kettlebell. They do ruin your hands a bit, but off we go. We're going lunging across the room as far as you've got room for. My shoulders probably could go up and back. That's why I often over-exaggerate that move, because it makes me know that I've done it and my back is in the right place. So you're lunging forwards and then you're turning where you can. Really nice. One, which is hooks, elbows high, twist those feet like a cigarette butt. I have my feet next to each other, slightly one in front of the other, which should be okay, but I am going slow. I'm turning my palm from looking at my face while it's in the guard and then twisting it from the side of me with my elbow up. It's not easy. If your elbows are coming from the side up, no. Like, it looks like that point mine is, that's because my arms are tired, but you've got to get your elbows all the way up. That's why a hook is hard, but it's also really powerful because you get that your whole side of your body into that workout. And rest. You're now on a break and I am going to show you the exercises. So first I'm going to show you different variations through the exercise, but we're doing standing ab crunch, oblique crunch actually. So everything is pulled in together in your abs, you're zipped up, your ribs are down. Next one we're going to do is across the body, standing across the body ab crunch. This is suitable for all. If it hurts, just do not twist too hard. Then we're going to do bird dogs, which is amazing for new mamas. This built me significantly, and we're going to do a little pulse. So reach opposite arm and leg and pulse. We're reaching long. We're not reaching up, we're reaching long and then pulsing up. And then the last one, this variation, so you want your hands under your bum to support you, either one leg down at a time, head down, one leg down at a time, long legs, long toes. If that's too much, you're bending your knees into tabletop and dropping your toes down. It does not matter where you are. If your body doesn't want you to do an exercise, there's a reason. So off we go. We're into side oblique standing crunch. So I put weights in my hand. You don't have to. I've added a squat there. If you want to, it depends how you're feeling. If you're like, yeah, I need to get more out of this workout, then squat, crunch, squat, crunch, squat, crunch. Totally up to you. Keep going, you're doing really well. It's really weird talking to you when you're not actually there, but you're squat, and I've gone back to just doing side to side crunches and stop. I've added this band just to show you do not have to use it. It's just another way to kind of get your arms working through the workout. So we're doing cross body. It's like doing a bicycle on the floor. I'm adding a squat here just in case you want to. Like, it's up to you. I'm putting my hand inside the band, so when I cross my body, it's a bit like doing a Russian twist, and you're adding an extra bit of tension to your upper body, which means you're getting a bit more of a workout in there. But you don't need to. It's not what you need to do. This is the basic move. Doing a crunch across the body, but you're standing up. You are not lying down, and this is probably a bit easier for all of the mamas in the world that have not done any crunches for a long time. You do not need to do crunches to have better abs. So the next one we're going to do is bird dog. So you're in tabletop, you're on your knees and your hands. I've got weights because some of you might want to add. You do not have to. So you're lifting up long, like your arms and legs are long, not to, the aim is not to get the pulse in. For new mamas, you might just want to do your leg and see how that feels, and then add the arm, because this is going to challenge your core all over. And this is a really great exercise. You've got 15 seconds left, I think, from what I can see. Keep going. Yeah, you can pulse for 2 or 3 if you want to. Obviously I'm slightly distracted by tiny toes here. And you want to be looking down at the ground, not up. You want to keep your neck flat. 3, 2, 1. Have a break. Really nice, guys. So here we're going into either single leg lifts. If you are a new mummy or recently had a baby in the last 3 or 4 months, you want to bend your knees into tabletop and just dip your toes to the ground. This is the hardest version what I'm doing here. Double leg lift. Some of you have progressed to the point where this is possible. Having your hands under your bum does help. This is what you will be doing. This is not the most basic version, this is the most basic version, so just tapping your toes down, alternate. That is the most simple version to build the lower core muscles which are connected to your pelvic floor. I'm showing you all different versions, and break. So we're going to go into the cool down. You want your toes touching and your knees wider. You're reaching forward into child's pose. This is where we're going to let the heart rate come down. You're going to stretch everything out. Got a very caring, tiny human there giving me a little pat on the back. I'm pretty sweaty here, which is gross. So I've just crossed my left arm underneath my right arm, and I'm stretching out my shoulder and my side muscles, my latissimus dorsi muscles and obliques. Switch over, right hand under left arm, right arm under left arm. Sorry for the obscured vision with tiny human, but we're just hanging out there. Deep breaths, so in through the nose and out through the mouth. And we're into tabletop. We're doing cat-cow. So if you can see, my feet are pressing into the floor, and then we're going into cow. So my stomach is dropping, my head is up. In cat, I'm really pulling my core in, I'm pushing my back out, everything is connected to the floor, is pushing out. And then cow, you're reversing it and letting everything hang down. You're pushing when you're in cow, you're pushing your chest to the front of the room, so you're opening your shoulders and your clavicle. Now we're going to sit onto the back of your heels, so your fingers are pointing towards your bum, and you're just going to rest. This is the straight up easy version, just resting on your bum and lean back. And if you have it in you, you might not, it might feel too painful. Lift your hips up so you get a nice stretch across your chest and your hips, the front of your hips. This is a great stretch, but if you have any pain in your back or your abs or your pelvic area, do not lift your hips. So next we're going to go into a side stretch. So I've just got my left leg pointing out to the side, so everything's in line. Like, imagine you've got like 2 pieces of paper, like one in front of you, one behind, and they should be straight up, or 2 sheets of glass or whatever. Everything should be layered on top of each other. You shouldn't be leaning forward or leaning back. Everything should be in line, and I'm just leaning towards the leg that is extended at the moment. So I'm getting a nice stretch on the right side, and then I'm spinning over to the other side. If it's too hard to get to the floor, just get a book or get something that raises you up a little bit, because this could be, depending on what your flexibility is, this could be a bit of a stretch to get all the way to the floor. And now we're going to switch legs, so left, right, leg stretched out, sorry. And as you can see, I'm trying to highlight everything should be on top of each other. So when you're looking down your body, you have got your ear over your shoulder is over your hips, and your hips over your knee. Everything should just be in one long line, so your spine is straight. And we're just reaching over to the extended leg, and then switch over to the floor. Again, just put a book underneath your hand on the floor. If that just feels just a bit too far, it may do, and that's fine. And where you put your hand down, it should be in line with your knee. Just imagine those two sheets of paper or sheets of glass that are holding you in a straight line. Now just a simple forward lunge, just a little push. You're not doing a whole massive like overextended there, like that's not what we're going for. We're going for 90-degree angle in the knee, and you're just pushing your hips forward. You should feel it all in there on the right side. You can feel it a little bit around the glutes, but that's not the aim. Then you're going to sit back on your bum, on your heel, and it doesn't matter where your hands go, but you should be feeling a stretch all down the back of your legs. Most of you guys know this one. You can put your hands on the floor, you can reach to your toes to get an added stretch. Like, it depends how you're feeling as to where you want to go with this. And we're going to switch over. So right leg up, stretch forward. Try to make sure that you've got that right angle, you're not overextending, and you've got that nice stretch in your hip flexor. You can see, even though my head's like a little bit further forward, everything is still in line. My shoulders, my hips, everything is still in one straight line. Back onto your bum and stretch out your calves and your hamstrings just by leaning forward. You might not be, I mean, some people put their head to their knee, you know, I'm not there, but you guys might just literally get into the position and want to sit straight up. You don't have to lean forward if it's, you know, if you get a stretch just from being in the position. And then come onto your bum, right leg over left leg, which is straight, your left leg is straight, and we're turning towards the bent leg. My hand is on the floor behind me, and I'm looking to the side of the room, but you can look to the back of the room to get a nice twist. And then we'll go to the other side, hands on the floor, and you should get a nice stretch in the shoulder on the left side when you put your hands down like that. It's just a nice additional extra. And then left over right, and twist towards the bent leg. Again, same thing, hand behind you, head reaching to the top of the room, because that's how you're going to keep your spine straight. I'm twisting over, hands on the floor, in line with each other, and you should get a nice chest stretch on the right side here, because you can just gently press in. You're not looking to cause pain, you're just looking for it to feel nice. And that's it, guys. Really nice work, and I hope you enjoyed it. That is how many calories I burnt, 215. It's not a bad workout. Have a good day. Bye.